Hey there guys, it's Metro, and today we are back with a very interesting quest that you get when you actually get Zuldazar or Zandalari Empire Revered. It's a quest that I think it speaks for itself, so let's get right into it. I do want to talk about the implications of such a quest though. Metro, I've never needed your help as much as I do this day. My home be under attack. I only just heard myself, Master Gadrin, be calling for aid. Zalazane, an old enemy of the Darkspear, has returned to the Echo Islands and has brought with me an army of the dead. Zalazane be a traitor who has slain many Darkspear and defiled their souls. Will you come with me to defeat him? We can take the ship that departs from the port of Zandalar.
I gotta borrow the champion for a bit. I know
Probably turn this up.
Somehow escaped Bwonsamdi and now be threatening my home.
My dear Rokan, the Darkspear tribe has more than earned the aid of the Zandalari. I will join you to help as I can.
That's pretty cool. So right out of the gate, we got a nice little interaction there between Talanji, who's slowly becoming one of my favorite characters in the game. But obviously, oh, we can actually just hearth. Let's do that. But obviously, the character Rokan is somebody who's not necessarily the most famous character, but has deep connections to the previous main troll, and that is of course Vol'jin, and he made a big pact. I think this was in Wrath. I'm not exactly sure when this happened, but it did happen at some point. They made a big pact with Bwonsamdi. We were actually just looking it up on stream the other day, which is kind of surprising. I didn't know that Bwonsamdi was in the game prior to this, but of course I really never started getting into the lore until real recently. So yeah, the fact that he was in the game, the Zalazane stuff happened. I don't know if that was like before Kata or at some point in the old days. And yeah, it was a pretty big deal. So I guess it had something to do with a book that happened during MOP with him as well. So anyway, we're going to go and is this a dockmaster? Oh, we actually have to wait for a ship. So let's go ahead and wait for that, and we'll continue here. All the mobs here are 120, so that's kind of cool. Let's see what we have to do. So this is the troll starting area, which is pretty unique to be coming back here. You brought the Zandalari with you? Yeah, right. It's pretty nuts. These mindless undead just keep coming. They be far stronger than they were the last time Zalazane walked this world. Please help us drive these undead back.
Spirits be with you.
It's just your standard quest, it seems. When fighting someone who has escaped the grasp of Bwonsamdi, as Zalazane has, it is best to bring weapons that can hurt him. In Darkspear Hold, you will find the glaive of Vol'jin. It should have enough bond with Vol'jin's spirit to aid us in this fight. So yeah, obviously, Vol'jin's connection to this story is pretty unique, and I'm very interested in seeing the end of this because what I've been told, obviously, is that Vol'jin has, yeah, there's something very big coming. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this, just like I did with the Suramar quest, and we'll return very shortly.
Someone call for the doctor.
The dead should stay dead. I agree.
be getting too old.
So we'll turn in there, and did you find the glaive? Yes, we found a masterwork of Shadowpan design, the glaive of Vol'jin. Pretty iconic item, obviously. The bond between Vol'jin and Zalazane was one of magic and bargains with Loa. The bond between Vol'jin and this weapon was also great. This may be what we need to finally destroy that spirit.
I've got your back.
All right, and we got another quest. If we mean to destroy Zalazane, that we are going to need something more than magic that can damage that spirit. The glaive of Vol'jin might be what we need to do this. Zalazane be hovering near where he fell so many years ago. Rokan and Talanji have already gone to face him. Go, slay Zalazane, and then plunge the glaive into the spirit before it can escape. Let us hope that the bargain Vol'jin made be powerful enough to destroy this enemy.
Just remember.
All right, let's head over.
Everything regenerates.
Gonna have my revenge on Vol'jin and all of the Darkspear. You be thinking you can win. You can only delay your destiny. You think destroying my body, that's gonna stop me?
For the Darkspear.
From ripping you apart.
All right, so we missed a little bit of dialogue, but one thing that I definitely want to bring up here is as we killed the spirit of Zalazane, he says, "What? Vol'jin could not have grown so strong without becoming a ... Very interesting. And then as we approached, they said, "The dead, they be fallen," and Rokan reminded us that Zalazane's not going to come back from that. Even in death, Vol'jin be watching over us. So let's go ahead and turn this in. The blade, it be glowing. It never did that before. Vol'jin, I've often felt our old chieftain's spirit whispering to me. His strength was the lifeblood of the Darkspear tribe. Some would say he was even the spirit of the true horde. Princess Talanji's offer is a great one. I shall travel with Vol'jin's ashes to Atal Dazar. If you be wishing to join us for this procession, meet us upon the famed Golden Road. All right, so let's head out there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so one way or the other, obviously, I think we see where this is going. They're already throwing some hints at us, but let's let it play out, right? The power here, it be in the very earth. The spirits be strong and ancient in this land. Even in the Echo Islands, we have heard of the traditions of the Golden Road. We must walk in the presence of royalty and hail the accomplishments of Vol'jin, so that the spirits be welcome here amongst the ancient kings. I shall carry the ashes if you light the fires. Know that any member of any other tribe may contest us. As our champion, we will need to fend them off if they do.
We come bearing the ashes of Vol'jin, son of Sinjin, to be honored in this sacred place.
This is an honor seldom awarded to one not of Zandalar. Come, walk the path with me and share this Vol'jin's deeds.
Vol'jin made a deal with Bwonsamdi to defeat the powerful Zalazay.
Aid us, Bwonsamdi. Help us regain our home. Return the Dark Spear to the Isles and hear your drums again. Drink your ritual offerings once more. This as son of Sinjin, I swear.
When Zandalar tried to unite the troll tribes, Vol'jin chose the safety of his people over the prophet's dark powers.
At the time, Zul's vision of a grand troll empire was very tempting to my father. I must commend your chieftain for seeing the bigger picture.
When it be clear that our war chief, Garrosh, be unwilling to lead with honor, Vol'jin led the rebellion to depose the warmonger.
It is a hard thing to do what your leaders will not.
I've been training Darkspear trolls for generations.
There is much to do.
Vol'jin, I must admit, I am impressed with his deeds. Had we met in this world, I am sure he and I would have much in common. I've learned much of the Darkspear lately. Truth is, I've quietly admired them since I was a little girl. Hearing of Vol'jin's defiance of Zul's reckless call to action. Vol'jin was war chief of the Hordes, chieftain of the Darkspear, and more troll than most of us can claim to be. His ashes should be honored in the place of kings and queens. Take the ashes to Ataldazar with my blessing and honor your former war chief as he deserves.
May your vestments be adorned with the skulls of your enemies.
All right, so I guess we head into the dungeon, so let's see if we can get that done, and then we'll talk about everything that we've seen here today.
No, my little hero. You're not believing that here.
Hello!
You and I need to be talking, says good old Bwonsamdi, one of my favorite characters in the game. You not be leaving that here. Oh, Vol'jin not be dancing in my house, and not be seeing his spirit for a long time. Its absence has broken the bonds that held Zalazane in my control. So I want you to lift that heavy urn and bring it back to my necropolis. Vol'jin and I would have a face-to-face on my ground.
See you soon.
Oh, okay. So we bring it back to Nazmir. Interesting. So we had to do a dungeon just for that. All right. Meet you back in Nazmir. Sounds good. I've waited some time for this, long overdue, hee hee. Wait a moment.
Be off, hero. Ain't nothing for you here now. Hey, Vol'jin, come on out of that room. Wait. No! Where be the spirit? Where be Vol'jin? No! Impossible! The boss ain't gonna like this. Old Bwonsamdi not been losing a spirit and... Oh, this be bad.
Alright, so that is the conclusion. Very interesting. I don't know what to think about that. But yeah, I think what this means is, obviously, again, if you're not 100% aware, I would go look this up. I'm not the biggest lore junkie out there. There's obviously people who know a lot more about this stuff than I do. But what I've seen, we talked about on stream a bunch recently, is that Vol'jin made some kind of serious pact with Bwonsamdi. It was talked about in this scene, you know, these storylines that we just covered on this. And that's a pretty substantial thing, considering, you know, potentially Vol'jin's odd exit from Legion. I think it's pretty clear that there was either some kind of a plan in the works, or there is going to be some big twist coming with Vol'jin in the future, and this obviously cements that. I don't think there's any question about this, so I really want to make this video honestly just as a place for you guys to tell me more about it. We could have a discussion about this, because I am pretty much convinced that Vol'jin is going to be somewhere in this story. Now, I saw people talking about this on the beta. I tried to avoid it for spoilers, whatever, it's out now, so I'm happy to hear all about it. I don't know if this is what they saw. I think it might have been, you know, pretty much exactly what they saw. People talking about you going into King's Rest and doing something with Vol'jin. But the fact that, I don't know, Bwonsamdi's freaking out about potentially not having his spirit in there. I mean, what does that mean? He's not dead. The Zalazane character seemed to be worried that potentially Vol'jin might have become a Loa, perhaps. I'm not sure. He was kind of being a little bit cryptic about what he was saying, but I do think that's probably the most realistic thing. He's going to somehow become some kind of Loa. I'm not really sure what kind of Loa he might be, but the other possibility that a lot of people have been talking about is that somehow he is not actually dead. He's going to come back, and just like they kind of hinted at in that third, when we lighted that pyre, when we were following Talanji up the mountain, we lighted that pyre, and you know, the Darkspear character told us when, you know, in our time of need, Garrosh was not doing well. He was not acting honorably, kind of just like Sylvanas. Vol'jin came out of nowhere and righted the ship of the Horde, right? So, I don't know. There's some crazy twists here. I think, you know, you've seen this in Battle for Azeroth at this point. If you're still hating on the story, I don't know what to tell you. I'm really excited for it. So, I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this. But anyway, thanks for watching. Very excited. Maybe we'll cover more story stuff going forward. But very excited to see where this takes us. And that's it. We'll see you guys in the next one.